It started on one of those nights when the world feels a little too heavy. The kind of night where the wind bites sharper than usual, and even the hum of a gas pump sounds lonely. Emily, a single mother of one, was driving home from her late shift at the diner when the fuel light blinked on. She sighed, pulling into a quiet gas station off the interstate, her son asleep in the backseat. His head resting against a stuffed dinosaur that had seen better days. The gas station was nearly empty, just a flickering neon sign in the hum of the cool night air. She got out, swiped her card, and began pumping gas. That's when she noticed them, 3 men hanging around near the convenience store entrance, all rough around the edges, their laughter sharp and mean. She tried to ignore them, focusing on the ticking of the gas meter, but she could feel their eyes on her. "Hey sweetheart," one called out, his voice slurred. "You all alone tonight?" Emily froze. Her heart pounded as she pressed the gas pump tighter, pretending not to hear. But another one stepped closer, grinning. "We're just trying to be friendly," he said, leaning against her car. "Where's your husband?" She swallowed hard, her hand trembling as she tried to stay calm. "Please," she whispered, "just leave me alone." They laughed, taking another step closer. One of them glanced through the car window and saw her sleeping boy. "Ah, she's got a kid," he sneered. "How sweet." That's when the sound came, low at first, then growing louder. The rumble of engines. Heavy, deep, synchronized. It wasn't just one motorcycle, it was several. The thugs turned their heads as a line of bikes rolled into the gas station, chrome gleaming under the neon lights. The riders wore leather vests, their headlights cutting through the dark like judgment itself. At least a dozen of them. The lead biker, a tall man with a gray beard and piercing blue eyes, pulled off his helmet and looked directly at the thugs. "Everything all right here, ma'am?" he asked in a steady, calm voice. Emily could barely speak. They were bothering me," she stammered. The lead biker didn't need to say anything else. He gave a subtle nod. And instantly, the others dismounted, forming a silent wall around her car. The thugs stepped back, their arrogance fading fast. "Didn't mean no harm," one muttered. "We were just talking." "Then keep talking while you walk," the biker said evenly, his voice calm but cold. The men didn't argue. They stumbled off toward the darkness, their laughter gone. When they were out of sight, Emily exhaled shakily, realizing she'd been holding her breath the whole time. The lead biker turned to her, his tone softening. "You and your boy safe?" She nodded. "Yes, thank you. I don't even know what to say." Quote. He smiled faintly. "Don't say anything. Just get home safe." As the bikers began to mount up again, Emily stopped him. "Why did you help me?" He paused, glancing back at her. "Because once someone helped my sister when nobody else would. I just keep the chain going." They rode off into the night, engines echoing down the empty road. Emily watched them disappear, her heart full of gratitude. Weeks later, her life took another turn. Emily had been cleaning houses to make ends meet, and one day she was asked to clean the mansion of a billionaire woman named Victoria Hale. It was her first big client, the kind of job that could change everything for her and her son. She wanted to make a good impression. That afternoon, Victoria returned home early. She stepped out of her luxury car, her heels clicking against the marble driveway. But as she reached her backyard, she froze. There, in her private garden, her young son was laughing hysterical. While playing with the janitor in a large inflatable water tube, both of them soaked from head to toe. For a split second, Victoria felt anger rise. But then she saw something that stopped her, her son's smile. It was pure, unguarded joy, the kind he hadn't shown in months since his father's passing. The janitor, embarrassed, stood up quickly. "Ma'am, I'm so sorry. He wanted to play, and I didn't mean." Victoria held up her hand. "It's fine," she said softly, her voice trembling slightly. "You reminded him what laughter sounds like." That night, as Victoria sat alone in her study, she couldn't stop thinking about what she'd seen. The genuine connection, the warmth, the kindness between two people who didn't care about titles or money. She realized how disconnected she'd become from the simple things that made life meaningful. The next day, she gave the janitor a raise, and more importantly, respect. From that day on, she treated her staff like family. Months later, a news clip played in her living room, a story about a group of bikers who rescued a woman and her child from harassment at a gas station. As she watched the interview, she recognized one of the bikers. It was the same man she'd seen once at a charity event years ago, the one who'd spoken about his late sister and the importance of doing good without expecting anything back. Victoria smiled faintly, whispering to herself, "Keep the chain going." And somewhere on another quiet night, Emily sat on her porch, her son asleep in her arms, looking up at the stars. She didn't know the bikers' names, and they didn't know hers. But their kindness had rippled outward, changing lives far beyond that gas station. Because sometimes, the smallest act of courage, standing up, showing compassion, choosing kindness, becomes the spark that lights a fire in others.